Hi, everyone. Thanks so much. It's a pleasure to be here. As mentioned, I'm Roy from the Lemonade Foundation. The Lemonade Foundation is Lemonade, the insurance company's nonprofit arm. It was built with the mission to use exponential technology like the blockchain to create and to implement change in the real world. And I want to tell you today about the first project that the Lemonade Foundation is running. And it's a project that aims to fight world hunger with a blockchain. Now, I realize that that sounds big. And I have a observation on why that sounds big. Because I think we're all here, we believe in the potential of blockchain to create and to implement dramatic, maybe historic changes to the way our society operates. But until now, I think that potential has not been unleashed, especially not on the people most in need of this type of assistance, the unprotected, the unbanked, the uninsured, especially farmers in the global south. But I think, actually I know, and I'm going to show you in this talk, that this is beginning to change. I think the project that the Lemonade Foundation is leading is going to, I'll show you how insurance is actually a bridgehead that allows us to connect and to unleash the power of blockchain onto the real world and to help affect good and create a lot of impact. But before I go into exactly how we're going to be doing that, I want to start with a person we met a few weeks ago. And her name is Grace. Grace is a subsistence farmer. That means that she lives off what she grows. She lives in Taita Taveta County in southern Kenya. Unfortunately, in the past months, years, this county has seen a very, very bad drought, which means that a lot of the families there who are subsistence farmers are struggling to survive. Like many of the farmers in the region, predominantly women, by the way, Grace is the sole breadwinner in her household. Her husband and her son are both unemployed. This is Grace's shamba. Shamba is Swahili for garden. It's not exactly what the mind conjures up when we think of a farm, right? Especially not in the West. There's no fertilizer. There's no machinery. There are no beasts of burden. Grace does everything on her own. There's also no irrigation. So if it rains, the crops grow. If it doesn't rain, they don't grow. And it didn't rain. So in a regular season, Grace can grow about 100 kilos of mung beans. That's about 220 pounds. And that's usually enough for her family to survive until the next planting season, which is 6 months away. But as I mentioned, in this season, there were no rains, so she didn't grow anything. That leaves her and her family and many other families in the region at real risk of starvation. So at the Lemonade Foundation, we asked ourselves, how can we solve this problem? What can we do to ensure Grace and her family and other families like Grace to ensure their food security? So what we did at the Lemonade Foundation is we created the Lemonade Crypto Climate Coalition. This is a coalition of companies from insurance and reinsurance, data, obviously blockchain. Avalanche is a very, very important partner for us here. And this coalition of companies, we are together working to provide crop insurance to farmers like Grace. So basically, if her crops don't grow, we pay them. And a few weeks ago, for the first time ever, a blockchain-based product was deployed, and we paid out thousands of farmers in southern Kenya because of the drought that happened there. Now, excuse me, if insurance is such a great idea and it can really solve this problem, why is it not widely available? And in sub-Saharan Africa, specifically in Kenya, for example, where I grew up, it's not widely available. Less than 3% of farmers even have access to insurance, let alone buy insurance. So at first approximation, no one has insurance. Why is that? And the reason is cost. For a traditional insurance company, providing this type of insurance is just unsustainable. Underwriting is a super complicated, complex, and expensive process. Even if you have underwriting capabilities, you then need to distribute it. Distribution in insurance is usually done with brokers when you have very low premiums, $5 a season per farmer. You can't find brokers who are willing to distribute that. And even if you did have underwriting and distribution, you still couldn't process claims because a payout can be $50, and processing the claim usually is more than $50. So for a traditional insurance company, providing this type of insurance is impossible. But what we've done is, by the combination of blockchain, data, and insurance, we've been able to solve this problem. And I want to explain what we did. By using a DAO instead of a corporate structure, a traditional corporate structure, by using smart contracts instead of policy documents, by using oracles instead of claims adjusters, and by providing this at cost instead of looking for a profit, we've basically managed to take a product that is unsustainable to something that's infinitely scalable. Because once we've built the infrastructure on the blockchain can reach Peru just as it can reach Papua New Guinea or rural Kenya in this case. Once we've built the infrastructure, we can easily replicate it to anywhere else in the world. Oh, and by the way, I forgot, who the hell trusts their insurance company, right? So I think another upside of this model is that it allows us to go from a situation of distrust to a trustless model. From a situation where nobody trusts their insurance company to a situation where not necessarily people don't trust each other, but they don't have to, right? Because everything is transparent, everything is on chain to be verified, to be audited. There's no opaque bureaucracy in the background that's making decisions on who's going to get paid or who's not going to get paid. It's very, very clear. Now, just because it's on the blockchain, it doesn't mean it's complicated. What we're seeing here is the first customer buying this insurance that we provided. Her name is Eunice. And you can see the entire onboarding flow takes about 30 seconds. She's doing it as we speak. She's doing it directly from her phone on her own. You can also see that the user interface itself is very simple, and it's built on a text-based user interface. We did that because many of the farmers in the region have feature phones. They don't have smartphones. So this has to be something that they're familiar with and they can use. So once a farmer like this customer we have in Taita Taveta County, once they buy the insurance directly from their phone, at the end of the season, we collect parametric data. That parametric data is transferred through an oracle to the Avalanche blockchain. It triggers the smart contract. And once the money is triggered, it goes directly back into the farmer's, the same phone that the person bought insurance from. Right now, these smart contracts are basically reinsured by the Lemonade Foundation. We provided the funding for it. But over time, hopefully very soon, we're going to be issuing a token which will allow basically any crypto investor to participate in this community and to fund these, to fund the insurance for these farmers. A few weeks ago, we traveled to Kenya to see the first time that these payments were made to the farmers. And when these ladies were paid, as I said, mostly the farmers are women, when they were paid, they said, "Tonight I'm going to have a full belly." And for us, that was a really moving event, because we also had Grace there, which we kind of met earlier. And we really saw the impact of what we did on the almost 7,000 farmers that we insured. So just 7,000 farmers means like almost 40,000 people, right? Because of the families that depend on the farmer. Almost 40,000 people that we helped, and we created basically infrastructure for them to be protected and to have food security. As I said in the beginning, I think we all believe that there's potential in blockchain to bring about maybe historic changes. And I think we're now seeing the beginning of that potential come to bear in the real world. That's the Lemonade Foundation's job. Our job is to make sure that that potential is released. Together with our partners in the Lemonade Crypto Climate Coalition, our job is to make sure that we go from the 7,000 farmers that we have already insured to more. So there are 500 million subsistence farms in the world, and there are about 2 billion people who depend on these farms for their livelihood. So if you ask me what our vision is, or what our mission is, I would say it would be to insure all of them. That's not a Q2 OKR. It's probably going to take a bit longer, but that's where we're heading. We're super excited about that. If you are excited as well, if you're interested, get the word out, tweet about it, talk about it, share. And also, I encourage you to get involved. Drop us an email if you want to be part, help coding, help with financing, whatever it is. Would love to be in touch. Thanks so much. Now it's time to build. Take care.